In order to start the work in the new format and to use all the priorities that are provided by decentralization, it should hold elections, and we should note that a lot of work should be done. The campaign and the public hearings, heated discussions, and the search for compromises, and people who are present here, they know the situation, and we would like to hear from them why they don't believe that they will have elections in autumn. So I ask Valentyna Stadnyk, why you doubt the appointment of these elections in autumn. So today, Oblast administration, they do not provide positive decision to us. The process of unification in our community started in 2017. And as you've said, this is hard work. We had worked with 5 communities in Lysynsky, Tychanivska, Liudmyla, councils of Buzhanka. They have more than 4,000 people there, and according to methodological recommendations that were developed to implement the law on voluntary unification, we underwent all the stages, and on the 20th of April, we provided all the documents to get this decision. Before providing the documents, before submission, we calculated the opportunities of the community, and I got the decision that was made by the Office of Reform. They provided, the Office of Self-Governance provided the calculations, and it was done at the level of local administration. The first one they provided, and it was not correct because they put 3,000 of population, and we had more people, and even for this number, we are capable because the enterprises, the biggest enterprises, are there in our region. So what is the decision of the administration? What is their opinion? They said that they cannot provide this because we are not capable. And we addressed the ministry in order to get recommendations, and we got the answer signed by Rubchak Mykola Vladimirovich, and here it was stated what opinion should be provided by the local administration, and it was said that they will send a letter to the regional administration to accelerate this process. And when we got the answer, we sent another letter, and I understand that the changes to the plan, we have only Lysynsky community there when we've developed this plan, and they said that we should develop it fast. And we didn't have this attachment to the prospect plan that we can introduce changes there later. And there was a meeting with headed by Mr. Bereznya, and we had the deputies from our region, the head of Oblast Council, Cherkasska Oblast, Alexander Ivanovich Oblast, and also Pavlychuk Vladimir Nikolaevich was present, and they are both the deputies, local deputies. And I would like to ask them why the communities of 5 villages became the hostages. So you do not have this opinion of the local administration, and even they do not say that they will give us this opinion. Can this administration provide this opinion, or whether it should provide the opinion about the adherence to the legislation So it is established by the Cabinet of Ministers according to the methodology. What it really means, it means that the community, they had elections, they got united, but the Cabinet of Ministers may say that they are not capable. It doesn't meet the methodology if it doesn't correspond with the plan, but they cannot forbid to get united. No one can do this. And these administrations, they should provide their opinion, and they should allow these elections. And this will happen if, for example, if the Cabinet of Ministers says that it is not possible, so they should just first undergo the first stage. And what about Bilopillya territorial community? Yuriy, please. We started the process on the 17th of March 2015. Maybe we were one of the first in Ukraine. We had Stadnyk community, and we started this process in March, and we wanted to jump in the first car of this train and to get the preferences, the benefits, all the carrots. Now we have 2018, and we are still where we are. We have 5 communities' decision. They agreed, and 9 communities are still thinking. More than 20,000 of people, and this will be one of the biggest in the region if we get positive opinion. So today is the last day. We wait for decision. It is the 10-day term, and the decisions, they should be resolved. The problem should be resolved fast, and I hope that till the end of the day we get this decision. I hope for this. But unfortunately, what I say about this community, I help my colleagues in this issue, and recently they got negative opinion, Stadnyk community. And we hope that they will have elections. So we hope that everything will be okay. So Novoselivka community, Liudmyla, please. First, I would like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak here, and we hope for unification. On the 15th of August last year, we got the opinion of Poltavska administration. Then we held a session and took decision to unite. And also, our documents last year were sent to CEC to have elections. And on the 11th of October, this package of documents was removed by administration, and we asked why. It was so it was done because the court hearing, the court process was started, and they asked what CEC provided, and CEC stated that that we are not capable of creating this unified community. So we had 10 court hearings, and the process was delayed, and we won this court hearing. And the center of our community is in Novoselivka, and the court hearing happened, and we had a decision, positive decision, and the claim was rejected, and there was appeal to Kharkivsk administrative appeal to the Court of Appeal, and the court hearing happened on the 19th of June, and the decision was without changes. We addressed Poltava administration to send our documents to CEC, but they said that 30 days should pass that are envisaged by law to appeal, and this term expired, and we were not informed, and our documents are not sent to CEC. Why, I do not know. About the reason, I cannot explain this. And one important aspect. The representative of regional administration and court hearing at local court, she supported the claimant. She was against unification. She said that we are not capable to get united. And the law, and at the same time, on the 15th of October, they provided positive opinion about the Novoselivka community. So, as of today, we are included in the prospect plan of the development by the decision of the council, and previously they lacked 1 or 2 votes, but now we face such a situation. And what is, who delays this reform? Oblast administration. And we ask them to help because they should send our documents to CEC. So we understand the situation with Oblast administration, but Liudmyla said that CEC, they stated that the communities do not correspond to the rules of unification. Maybe I was not clear. The Oblast administration wrote the appeal, and they asked to repel these documents because we are not capable. And we now speak about Kiev Oblast. We have 2 representatives of Kiev Oblast, and it is on the 22nd place in the rating of 24 communities. So we give the floor to the head of this community. What situation you face? So we have negative situation, very negative. And we started the process of unification, as my colleague said, starting 2015. For a long time, we tried to convince people, we tried to prove them that decentralization and unification of communities, that it has good prospects and it is really needed for people who live in the territory. And this is not necessary for those people who try to use this territory for their own benefits. So there are not many people like this, but they create big obstacles for unification. So there was a question about who delays this decentralization process. I believe that the answer is one. This is regional administrations. And one of the representatives of administration, we brought all the documents to him, and we asked why they do not provide positive opinion, or at least any opinion. He said, because I do not want to. So they just interpret this law in such a way, and this is negative for population. So Tsybli community got the opinion, but there is no submission to CEC, right? Right, we got the opinion in November last year, and possibly it was their mistake. Maybe they didn't thought it through, but they provided this opinion, and they do not know what to do with this opinion, because we got positive opinion, but they didn't refer us to CEC. And on Friday we submitted one more application in order that regional administration addressed with the petition to help us to provide the selection. So in Myronivka community, what situation do you face? I have a little bit different situation. So we started this process 2015. In 2016, we submitted documents for unification of 3 communities, but we have 24 regional councils, and we met all the requirements, all legal requirements, and adjacent communities, they provided rejection, and we got rejection from regional administration based on the fact that the principle of so we done everything to meet the requirements of legislation, and we submitted for the opinion on the 23rd of March, and all the documents were provided to the regional administration, and they should have provided the answer in 10 days, but they had these documents for 4 months, and first they said that there will be positive decision, but then the governor came and he had a meeting and wanted to hear from the heads of these units, and they said that they reject the idea, that they didn't grow up to the idea, and he went back and he said that you will get positive answer, and then we got non-positive decision from the regional administration, and there are no legal grounds for rejection, but they say that 85% of regional budget, they go from towns, and they say that I ruin the region, that I am negative, and so on and so forth, but I implement the will of people. That people want to get united, and they discussed us in the ministry, and they said about the reverse subsidy, and that we will have some, and based on this they just rejected our unification. We addressed the president, the prime minister, and we addressed to the Ministry of Regional Development about this issue, but the situation remains the same. And at the grassroots level, regional councils, they block this process. Regional state administrations also delay the process because they want to distribute the money, and regional administrations do not provide proper documents. And of course, if the governor has such an attitude, so we will be at the last place. So, what are the legal grounds for rejection? Why they provide such opinion that block the movement of communities to unification? Sometimes there are legal grounds for this. When procedures are violated, first. Sometimes there are instances when at the same time proposals are provided and public hearings are held about one proposal, and then they provide other proposals. For example, a town provided about village councils, and at the same time the village council provides some proposals, and they have public hearings about the first, and they do not have public hearings about the first one, so people cannot take grounded decisions. So sometimes this is possible. So about the towns, this is a weird position. There are coordinated centers with the regions, and there are 100 support of the ministry. They see that these communities are capable, and sometimes there are no guarantees that there is a capability to get united. And when unification is around the towns or other units, that the guarantee is only when it meets the law and if there is proper prospect plan. Also, sometimes there is just a gap, and but they should. So, for example, if it is not provided in the prospect plan, this positive opinion. So why it is so? So often there are no legal grounds. Sometimes there are grounds such as that some people are trying to ruin the region, and this is about Kiev region and the Zakarpatska region. So here the grounds are inappropriate because they have the leveling formula and the same regional budgets. They get their money due to subsidies, and those who have reverse subsidies. So the ideal option is when the unification goes along the prospect plan and the reverse subsidy is decreased, and then there should. There are such things that are blocked and delayed because we are in delay in this reform. The decisions for enlargement of the regions should have been taken long time ago, and the expenditures for the support of the apparatus of local administrations decrease, and there is consolidation of funds, and the sabotage at local level, it is reduced to nothing. And also there is a political aspect. So they're afraid that people will win elections, and they consider only current situation. And Obl state administrations, they play a bad role for the president and the government as a rule. Social and political sentiments, they change for the better, for the power. So we have 6 administrations that block the creation of more than 20 territorial communities. Some of them block these decisions, and also Bibinsky, Lvivsky Oblast, 1 community, and in Chernigovsky, 3 unified communities. They are not allowed to have elections. So if there is a will of communities to get united, and if we take into account that this is a state policy, and administrations, they are the representative of the state at the local level, so maybe there should be proper responsibility for non-implementation of the law. Head of the Zakarpatska state administration, he should become a pensioner because his activity shows that he is against the president of the state. But maybe we have such a state that the state does not punish top officials quickly, and the same we see in Kievska Oblast. Unfortunately, the head of Oblast administration, I do not believe in miracles. He is responsible. I understand if there are some reasons for non-unification of some small communities, but Myronivka community, Glivacha, Boguslavska, Boyarka, if they are not allowed to have elections, and these are powerful communities, politically, these are voters who will support the government and the president. So that is the sabotage of the head of Oblast administration in Kiev region, and this is the work against the president, because the deputies are elected as of today, but the elections will be in half a year, and the people, they start to see the things, the real things, and people can feel those improvements in the united communities, and we see and people see those improvements. And the governance and the processes improve in the communities that got united. So everyone who counts on the administrative apparatus, this was in 20th century. And now we can base our activity only on real things. So they say that they cannot manage them. The heads of the united territorial communities, they are independent, and they base the activity on law, and they take the responsibilities of taking decisions. So there is no practice to counteract them, and that's why some people just want to block the activities. This is Zakarpattia option. They do not allow this because they cannot manage these independent people. So we have experts and People's Deputy Krivoshev in our audience. So please, maybe you have questions, please ask. Give a mic, please. Krivosheya. Anatoly Kostruba, Zabirya Village, Boyarska United Territorial Community. I do not want to defend the regional administrations nor oblast administrations. Oblast provided a quick opinion during Christmas holidays, and we wanted to submit it to CEC, but the community of Zabirya was against about this decision, and I filed the case, and I represented my community, and we won. And the question to Yuriy, why only one village joined Boyarska United Territorial Community, and it is considered as a united community, because villages in Kiev Svetoshin region, they want to get united into village territorial community. I would like to provide an answer. The law does not envisage the number, a clear number who get united. Even if two get united, first they should get an opinion, and second, the decision about the direct relation, it is resolved according to law by the Cabinet of Ministers. At the same time, when two village councils get united, 100%, there will be a negative opinion by the Cabinet of Ministers, and they will be big village council. One more option. When the decision of the session is provided, that the unification is going on, and after this, the opinion is provided, then this decision is believed to be the work that is done, and it cannot be it can be revoked only by court. So you can file the case to the court that the decision was not legal, but the decision of the meeting cannot be rejected. It's like first shoot a person and then reject the decision. So if the session took decision about unification, it is like marriage. So you signed, you put your signature. After this, there are no options. So then divorce is another procedure. They filed the case to the court. So something was not considered while the decision was taken. So it can be done only using this process. So if two get united with Boyarka, so they should file this to CC and everything else. So you should understand that this is a process. We have another question from the audience. I do not hear him. Dmitro Gavrilyuk, Slova Gramada portal. I have a question to Yuriy and the heads of the United Territorial Communities. Taking into account you've said about opposition at different levels, do I understand correctly that you will continue your fight to build these United Territorial Communities based on your principles, and also was it difficult to convince people, the residents, to support the idea? And the question to Yuriy, maybe we should reject this myth. Why the state and the officials, why don't they promote this reform of self-governance? Because the independence of the region, it will give the way to separatism, and we will have the DPR and the LPR throughout our state. The first question was to the heads of the United Territorial Communities. So I believe that the heads and the future heads of the United Territorial Communities, so they were elected, and they will be elected by our people, and we will fight for their interests. And of course we understand that the process of the community, this is the way for the development of the community, and by all means, of course legal means, we will fight through the courts, the cabinet of ministers, the president, associations. We will fight for our interests. And about the question, was it easy to convince people? So we are a village. We are the town at the border, and all our villages are near the border, and we have Ryzhivka, and maybe you heard about it. The half of the house is in one region, and one part of the house in another region. So people are really specific there. So they want to have proper communication with another side. This is a specific region. And I started to speak with them, and in 5 minutes I thought, why did I come here? I thought they will beat me. Then I thought, oh, okay, maybe they will beat me, but they won't burn my car. Then some people started to applaud, and they asked me to come again. And the people supported and voted for this idea. So this is a slow process. First, there was mistrust. People thought they didn't trust in this reform. They just wanted to omit this reform. Then people started to believe in this reform. And now we are jumping in the last car of this train, unfortunately. I would like to say that the Center of Regional Reforms, of the Regional Development of Self-Governance, jointly with representatives of the administration, several times they came to the region and they held some meetings and sessions about unification in one Lysinska community. And categorically people were against. And honestly, we started the process of unification in 2015. And first we got rejection, and in October 2017 we had an initiative group that came to communities, and they campaigned, and in order to stop these processes and filing to courts. We worked with deputies, and practically we discussed these problems in the deputies' districts, and each representative of the community, they signed this, and so we continue our fight. I want to say that regional councils, they are not all against this, and some representatives, they and one of the representatives of the council said that the deputies, they support the will of people, but he was not heard, and Oblast administration is ready to provide opinion when proper order will be provided to them. So we will fight, because people, they phone us, and some radical steps. Everyone wants to get quick results, and I would like to say that this position, this opposition, it harms not only the reform and the image of the president and the prime minister, it also undermines the trust of people, their belief that there is real truth. Because if we cannot do it, what should simple people do? How can they protect their rights? So we have the law. Please give us the opportunity to voluntarily get united. And the question to expert: why not all the bodies support the process? Maybe you have something to add about this. I would like to answer to the question about separatism. The times of the cities that are states, they passed, and the regional formations, they suffer from separatism because they have illusion that they can live in their own country. So this illusion, it is based on the fact that if there are more than 2.5 million, so they can have so these regional leaders, they do not understand that it is not only based on agricultural and other elementary issues. There are issues of security, law enforcement, there are many other issues, but people, they have such illusions appear, and external factors, they ignite these illusions, and in the process of decentralization, many responsibilities go to the base level. It becomes stronger than the regional level, and then those illusions on top, they just blow up, because on top, at the regional level, they have one natural responsibility. This is regional development. So they should overcome the disproportions in the development of the territory. This is an intellectual work, and they should deal with it. And this decentralization and redistribution of responsibilities, it is done in order that they do this at the regional level to have the concentration of brains there. And they should not deal with other things, because they should not get the responsibilities from the base level. So if we implemented this reform earlier, when the concept was adopted, but the government was afraid to provide this information to people, so we didn't have the problems with we wouldn't have problems with Donbas and Crimea if we implemented this reform earlier. Next question, please. Introduce yourself. Good afternoon. I am the acting head of the community Smirnova Elena. So we have the same situation as you face. The matter is, we worked according to the plan starting 2015, and the Cabinet of Ministers adopted the prospect plan of Singurivsky village united territorial community. We had 8 village councils, and we had about 12,000 of population. And please, what is your question? The question is, why Zhytomyrska State Oblast Administration and Zhytomyr Council, why didn't they provide all the documents to Oblast Administration according to methodological rules? When there was a session of Oblast Council, and they united one more village council, and people were against, and they just wanted to close this blank on the map. So did you address this question to administration? So we got this opinion, and we got it with delay, and they say that we have many problems, but we did everything according to the norms. So your situation is similar with to the situation of our colleagues. So we do not have representatives of administration here. I can only state that we should differentiate the notion of the connected with the prospect plan and its adoption. We orient all regional administrations and the councils that there shouldn't be any blank spaces, because when there's unification, we should take a decision whether the community is capable or not. It is capable when the center corresponds to the prospect plan, and more than half are united around the center. Then it is considered as capable. Otherwise, it is the big village council. In order to do this, there should be adopted prospect plans without blanks, in order to have proper situation for unification. So this is the issue that creates problem, because there's no guarantee of direct transfers if there are blanks. So you can get united. So big village council, you may speak about the fact, you may speak about the transfers and proceeds when there is a prospect plan without the blank. So this is the first position that should be provided. Gennady Grigorievich Krivosheya, People's Deputy, is given the floor now. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank for this roundtable and for this press conference. And I came here in order to speak about Kiev Oblast and the head of this administration. I deal with the issues of Boguslavska, territorial community Myronivka, community Kargarlik issue, Boyarka issue of many communities of Kiev-Svetoshinsky region. We have many problems, and we move forward. So the problem is big in Kiev Oblast. And I write. So the deputy of Some cases should be filed to the court, and let's think what we'll have next year. In March we will have presidential campaign until May, then we will have in autumn the elections to the parliament. So practically next year I feel it will be without elections to territorial communities, and I, as a deputy, I would like to ask Yuriy, do we have sense to get decision, to take a decision about those voluntarily communities, and maybe these people speak a lot about these elections and also what we will do. I understand that we have only several days. Boguslavska community in Kiev region, they are fully ready for elections 100%. In the last 2 weeks we got 2,000 signatures, and I met thousands of people to tell them what the Boguslavska community is. People started to understand this. People started to understand the situation about the bribes in the villages. They do not want to get united, and the police take this and police arrested some people. So we should mobilize ourselves, and I would like to say that I'm ready to help you as a parliamentarian. So please, I'm ready to join you. Yuriy, please, briefly. Adopt the law 8051. This is about the principles of administrative division. So 2 things you should do. First, you should adopt the law 8051 until October. Second, as parliamentarians, you should adopt new regions in the oblasts that will be ready. So ready are 2 oblasts, 100% of readiness. There's no opposition and only positive things. And also you should come to the president and you should explain the situation to him, because there's such an impression that he hears people and people provide arguments, and you heard many arguments, and this is enough. Yuriy Ivanovich, so the communities, they want to use this opportunities of reforms. What they should do further, what is the recipe? Look, there are things that should be done in any case. So this is boring things, these are procedures. This is about the court hearings and other things, also writing of letters and also filing to the court to force local administrations to implement the decisions of the courts. So a lot of things that unfortunately they take time, but you should go through these procedures. I described political things, and I'm really concerned with the situation when they set up the president and the prime minister. So these heads of administrations, they just set up the president or the prime minister because they just fear for themselves. So if you do not know how to act, you should act according to the law. This is the general rule. And I would like to address those who are present here. So you went along this way, and you now understand how to act, how to take decisions. And those who knows how to take the decisions, they will win. So maybe some of you want to address to the audience. Please, you have the opportunity to do it right now. I would like to address to Alexander Ivanovich Yurlitsa. This is the head of our Oblast Council. with all the respect we have for you, you as a deputy of Oblast Council of Lysynsky region, you have obligations before the residents of this region. I ask you to help because a lot depends on you, to do everything possible that Buzhanka United Territorial Community got positive opinion and was included in the map of the prospect development of the territories of Cherkasska Oblast. Thank you. Please, the next one. I would like to address to my community, I would like to say, my dear people, we will be successful. I promise you that our community will be successful. It is pleasant to hear these optimistic words. I would like to address the residents of Myronivka and those village councils who agreed to get united. We won't stop, and I believe that in Myronivka community we will succeed, and with this hope, I believe we will get these positive results, and people will support us. Thank you. I would like to, first of all, answer your question. It was not so difficult to explain to people, because people trust us, because they elected us, they trust us, and here we have our people in this hall, and the people, they continue to trust us, and there are many questions, and the process was rather nice, and now it is more difficult to send our documents to CEC to appoint the elections. You understand that we are here because people support us. 5,000 of people, they trust us and they trust our country, and they believe that the laws are adopted accordingly. And this law on voluntary unification, the dominant word is voluntary. That's why we're here, and we ask our regional administration. I won't name the head of the administration. Maybe he is set up by his services, maybe they have wrong opinion about our community, but we want that our community is united, and we have a powerful enterprise on our territory, and 85% of Poltava region budget is created by this enterprise, and also we have other councils that want to get united in the Poltava region. There was proper campaign. People want to get united, and we believe that we will get this positive opinions. And about Poltava and Novoselivka, what was said about these regions. Yes. I would like to thank to Tsybli community, all those active citizens who see the future of our community, of our country on the whole, and no one will get us anything. We should fight, we should go forward to our goal, and we do this. And using this opportunity, I would like to address the administration, to those who take these decisions. Please give us the opportunity, please give the opportunity to people to develop and to glorify our nation. So this is the end of our meeting. We wanted to understand who blocks decentralization in the country, and oblast administrations are on top of this rating, and maybe this will be a mirror for them. Maybe they will correct their actions, or maybe we should help them to implement the law. Thank you. Till the next time, goodbye.